Hello, everybody.
Mr. Smith, come on up. Okay then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all right. So then everybody else on the Zoom call, there's Paul. You can remind me who that is. And then this one, that could just be.
Nisqually Towing.
Yeah, could you activate your camera, please?
Nope.
And
Okay.
then there's Patriot, that's gone. And then Deputy Alt, there we go. Okay, so give me just a second here. Call this case up. So Mr. Smith, you're alleging an improper tow, that this was on private property?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you referenced pictures in your filing. I didn't see any pictures.
With that in mind, I did put a binder together for the court just in case. That
Was that provided to all these folks?
It was in the,
Because I didn't see it. I didn't see any pictures in here. Did you submit them with the court?
yes, we submitted all the CAD reports, the video knocks on the door. All that was submitted along with pictures and a declaration.
See the declaration, there's some audio things.
Those are the deputy's body cam footage.
Right. Declaration final motion, is it in there? So I didn't see it.
Your Honor, I am not a lawyer, as I did not put this together. I had surgery
Okay,
and I've been,
well, are there pictures? Where, are there pictures in the court file? Because I don't see any. Or they just,
yes, there should be pictures in the court file. We filed this, and the reason it was continued is because when I filed it all, the last judge said that she had to review all of this because there was 20 pages
Okay.
of just everything, and that goes with the CAD report, in the calls that I made, that the other deputies pushed forward from not getting an answer or any kind of information.
well, I don't.
And the pictures that I put in here is from the deputy's own report.
All right.
So
Let me, so again, they're not in here. So, and I don't like looking at things that they haven't seen also.
90% of it is the deputy's own report. That the pictures he took are.
Let me take a look at this for a minute and
Okay,
then I may.
no problem, no problem, Your Honor.
Could you bring it up?
With your permission.
I guess, I don't know how else it's gonna get here.
I am so sorry. I'm like, again, I'm nervous.
Take a seat.
Thank you. And I have put it
Honor,
together.
Deputy Walter, I submitted 9
Okay,
separate
so hang on a
photos
second.
to the court.
Deputy, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
Yes, Your Honor, I submitted 9 separate photos to the court prior
I don't
to
know
the
why we didn't
previous.
get these.
They were actually in the case file originally with Judge Wilcox. She reviewed them.
If you start at
Okay, everybody,
page
hey,
6,
listen, two people are talking. I can't listen to either one, so let them finish. Go ahead, Deputy. I'll say that again, please.
The 9 photos I had submitted were also with the CAD notes. That was part of the 20+ pages that Judge Wilcox was wanting me to review at length. And so they were in there. I don't know what had happened after that. So I know there's at least
20
9
plus
that I
pages.
submitted.
All right, hang on just a minute. Yeah, there's nothing 20 pages in here. There's a declaration final of 12 pages, final orders 8 pages, and then notices 7 pages. Everything else is 3 pages and 1. And that final notion, I just went through that. So, do you know, were you here when this was here last time? Do you remember pictures being handed for that?
Your Honor,
No, just stop for a minute, please.
apologize.
I want to look here for a second.
Apologize.
Okay. So I see there are pictures in here, which I assume are probably taken from your. Give me just a minute. Okay, go ahead. Mr. Smith, I'll hear from you.
Okay. Excuse me for 1 second. I need to go to the first page. Again, extremely nervous, so if you could bear with me for a half a second, I apologize. Would you like to swear me in?
What's that?
Do I have to be sworn in?
Yes, thank you. Will you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
It is, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
My name is Lawrence Smith. I'm here to contest the tow of my vehicle. Respectfully, I ask the court to find relief in which the detail in my motion, an invalid tow on March 5th, impound my Chevy Malibu, and the immediate return of my vehicle to the residence of 3712 at respondent's expense. Vehicular towing of storage fees and awardance damage to $500 in actual out-of-pocket losses, reasonable attorney fees, equivalence is expressly permitted by RCW 45-55-12-3. A narrowly trolled injunction prohibit further impounds attempts on this private property, absence, warrant, or court order. So to briefly say what happened, on March 3rd, I parked my vehicle. I donated a vehicle that was parked in front of my Chevy Malibu. My wife has passed away. I donated her vehicle to injured veterans, so I had to move it. Inside of there is a letter from the donation site saying they would pick the vehicle up on the 5th. They called me, informed me that the truck had an issue and they would not be able to pick it up till the next day. As I knew and believed I was parked on private property, given to me instructions and permission given to me by the owner of the property and his son, who is the power of attorney, has also given me permission to park there. I parked the vehicle there. I went to work. I came back. Nothing, the vehicle was tagged according to the report on the northern facing side of the vehicle where the windshield wipers were. I understand that's how it stays on there, but I come from the south side of the neighbor's one-way, it's a street. So I pull into my house. I didn't receive a phone call indicating that it was being tagged and need to be removed. I did not receive a letter. The deputy knocked on my door once, walked away. The vehicle was there for 24 hours and 20 minutes, and then the call to Nisqually Towing was requested, as you'd see on his body cam footage that we put on there, but obviously it's not there. Then Nisqually came and got the vehicle, as they should have, because that was the request. I just believe also that on the CAD report, it says 3701 was where the vehicle was located. The vehicle was located at 3707. There is no 3701. The first house in the neighborhood is 3712 and 3711. Those are the two houses next to each other. On Google Earth, if you look on it, it says 3701 is Thomas Rawlings' next door neighbor, owned by Sergeant Robert Chase. I apologize. I had all this. They have owned the property, and it is 3711. So just by the report, it is an invalid tow because there is no 3701. 3707 is where it was parked. There are, in the discovery that I put in this binder, there are a number of vehicles parked in a worse situation than mine that have been there longer. Again, I would like the court to find that this tow has been invalid, and I can go ahead and retrieve my vehicle post haste.
You can be seated. Deputy Alt, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and
Yes, Your
affirm the
Honor.
testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
you can go ahead, put your hand down, and then I'll hear from you.
So some of the truth that Mr. Smith said, yes, according to my GPS on my vehicle, it was 3701, not 3707, which I know Mr. Rollins lives at, or he owns the property at 3707. He is not living at that house currently. He is living out of state with a son due to his mental capacity. And I have permission, I actually had a request from his ex-wife who requests patrols to the area to make sure people aren't on the property, which I was in the area on the day of the 4th when I first initially saw Mr. Smith's vehicle parked in front of the residence, which in the past, and I do believe you oversaw the last tow hearing that was removed from Mr. Rollins' son's vehicle. It was removed from the property in the same location. There is a 60-foot easement for the county right of way. And I actually took measurements for that. And the vehicle is parked approximately 13 and 11 inches to 14 feet from the center line of the roadway, which puts it well within the county right of way. And then I ran the plate. I learned that the car is registered caddy corner across the street to Mr. Smith. I walked over, I knocked on his door. Dogs were barking. Nobody came to the door. I went back, I tagged the vehicle. I noticed there was a Ford F-150 that was parked off the side of his driveway, but there was plenty of parking in his driveway. I tagged the vehicle, made notes in the CAD. The next day I was in the area. I stopped in just to see if somebody would be home sooner, which would have been the 5th, and which was approximately arrived just before 11 at 10:56 a.m. Went to knock on Mr. Smith's door. Again, no answer. Dogs weren't barking. I made even notes about that, so I didn't know if maybe he went out for a walk or something. I don't know. Then I returned the same day on the 5th at 13:46, and again knocked on the door, had no answer, and then I made my additional notes and then requested the next rotational tow, which Nisqually Towing was the next one on the availability. And I have a long list of measurements if you'd like those as well, to include the 60-foot easement, so 30 feet each side, where the truck was, or the vehicle was parked, the concrete stacker wall, which is in some of my blurry pictures, sorry for the quality, which the concrete blocker wall, or concrete stacker block wall, is approximately 23.8 inches from the center line. So technically the concrete stacker wall is still within the county right of way, but I don't think the county's going to remove the trees that are in the right of way as well. So
I see. So tell me, you said the property owner has been in contact with you. What was that about exactly?
the property owner has, from what I've been informed from another deputy who worked a couple of cases with the property owner, has severe dementia and is living with an adult son out of state.
Right.
His
Right, but
ex-wife,
then I thought you said the son's wife was saying something?
the property owner's ex-wife, her name's Barbara. She lives in the area. She asked for law enforcement to do periodic checks to make sure nobody was at the house or in the house if we were in the area, in which I happened to be patrolling the area. So then it's when I realized on March 4th that Mr. Smith's car was parked in front of Mr. Rowland's house.
I see. And then you made your measurements and determined it was on the public
Those
road.
measurements are actually made. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Say that again.
Sorry, Your Honor, I did not mean to cut you off.
No, you said those measurements. I don't think we heard each other.
The measurements I actually took prior to this. You actually oversaw a tow hearing dealing with the property owner's son, who is actually not allowed at the property. There is actually an order in place stating that.
I'm not sure that was me, but if
It was a few months ago.
I think it was two, I think it is. I think I did I did the anti-harassment order. Go ahead. You wanted to say something.
Yes, Your Honor. For one, Barbara Rawlings and Thomas Rawlings are at odds.
Yeah, I'm.
So she
fully
has
aware of that.
no recourse at that
Okay.
residence. Sean Rawlings is the legal power of attorney.
Okay.
There is no restraining order with Sean to go to the residence. That was against Barbara, and that has been delusionalized. That's been resolved. The protection order is no longer invalid. So
No longer invalid means.
I mean, I apologize. The protection order is no longer ordered. It has been dropped. And one doesn't have to do with the other.
No, it doesn't. It does
What
not.
my thing is, if you look at the exhibit 3.
Okay, so hang on just a second.
Apologize.
So here's where I'm at, right? As I look at this, this is kind of an interesting case because as I look at the pictures submitted to, I might have to, so when I look at what Mr. Smith says and I see where this car was parked, it looks to me like, well, that's off the roadway. But then when I hear from you, Deputy Alt, that say, well, actually, when you look at what the county property is, that actually is in the roadway based on the measurements, like you said, even that little cement block wall remains in the roadway. So, and I guess I might have to do a little bit of looking here before I make a decision, because I understand what you're saying, that actually is on the roadway, but I kind of see where Mr. Smith's coming at from too, because just as an objective looking at it, it looks to me like that was like off the concrete and in the dirt there. You see what I mean? And I don't know what this, let me.
I'm
okay,
so sorry.
I didn't
Your Honor.
interrupt
I
you.
apologize so
let's-
much.
Let's give me the same courtesy, all right?
Uh,
And so, so you, but, you know, if that Mr. Smith sees it and says, well, looks like it's off the roadway to me, when in fact, it's not, is that enough to get him off the hook or not? And I'm not sure, and I might have to do a little bit of looking on that. Would you mind submitting your measurements on that there, Mr. or Deputy Alt?
Yes, sir. I have them handwritten down now. If you'd like them over
If you could get them
Zoom.
filed, what I would like them do in writing, get them filed, and now I have this from Miss, and I'm gonna hang on to this with your permission.
Of course, sir.
And then I'll come back next week and give a ruling.
The only thing I'd like to add,
Do you understand what he's saying though? What he's saying
Yes, I
is
totally
where you were
understand.
parked. is-
I get 100% what he's
Right.
saying. But when you review this, if you could look at exhibit 3, there is 2 different pictures. One is of before and after the neighborhood and the county has had the street sweeper come by. You
Okay.
can see,
But that doesn't. I mean,
no,
that-
I understand. And then once you turn the page, you can see that is a picture of me from 23 years ago in Major Thomas Rawlings' car back there. So for 30+ years, that spot has been used as a parking spot. And I understand what you're saying. You have to look on, and
I'm
you
gonna stop
have
you.
all my evidence. I just need to be quiet and let you do your thing.
I'm gonna stop you and saying that might be the case, but that doesn't, you can't there's a concept of adverse possession where you take ownership of something. If you use it as your own, that shifts boundary lines. You can't do that against the government. So even though that might have been used that way for a number of years, that doesn't convert it into something else.
Okay.
So
my
let me,
next question-
but I want to do some looking and I'll give a ruling next week.
My only question.
Yes, sir. At the towing agency, you wanted to say something or are you just waving bye-bye?
No, I'd like to say something. We're in Nisqually Towing, and the thing is that he has not redeemed his vehicle yet.
I'm aware.
And so we're holding onto the vehicle. I would like to know if his intentions of picking the vehicle up, because I'd rather not store it for another how long. And if the thing is, if he wants to, he can come in and I might even break him a deal on getting his car out.
Well, you give me that, but I can't,
I would
I'm not
love to-
really, he's talking to me there, Mr. Smith.
I'm
And so, well,
sorry.
I will say that, I think he heard you and maybe I can tell you're not enthusiastic about hanging on to that car. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I would say that if if I decided his way, then, he would he would be entitled to be in reimbursements by the sheriff's office, but then if not, then he'd be the one who, then he'll be paying for it. So I'm not sure, I don't want anything I say to imply I'm going any way here, but the longer you leave it there, you're taking a chance about paying more money. You need to
I
understand that.
understand, Your Honor, and like I told the last judge, I had shoulder surgery
And that's
the very next day,
okay.
and I had to pay $2,000. So I had to make.
Anyway, you heard what he said.
Yes.
Again, we'll reconvene here in a week. Now, by the way, that's the other reason why is apparently this was heard by another judge, and I don't know whether she was going to make a decision or not. I'm going to talk to her about that and a way she was going, and then we'll go from there. Deputy Alt, you're looking like you
Your
want to
Honor.
say something.
Your Honor, Deputy Alt.
Yes.
I do have a conflict. I have a confirmed felony case in Lewis County to testify in. Is confirmed for next Friday.
Are you good? Can you zoom in? I mean, will you be able to?
I am not 100% sure. I don't know what time they're having me testify. It's confirmed for Thursday afternoon, and it's probably going to run through Thursday night or Thursday evening and then into Friday. So I'm not sure when that case will be concluded or when I'll
Why
be
don't we go-
dismissed from that case.
We can go ahead and schedule it for 2 p.m. And then maybe if you could even let the court know over the noon hour, whether you can make it or you're not, and we'll accommodate your schedule. But I think,
Thank you, sir.
I would go 2 weeks, but I think, or do you plan on getting your car back this week? Yes, you. Now go.
Yes, Your Honor. My plan was to always get my vehicle.
Okay. Do you
But,
think?
but
Okay.
my plan was, but I couldn't afford to get that and
Okay, so-
this at the same time. I understand that there is a charge every day or whatnot, and I'm right on board with you.
Okay, so
With
hang
what
on.
you're saying.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think you'll be able to redeem that in the next week, knowing you may stay on the hook for it?
If he wants to cut me a break and
Okay,
I
well,
can pick,
I'm
no,
not
I'll go
gonna-
and talk. Yes, I can pick up my vehicle. Mr. Paul,
We'll go
I can
to-
come and talk to you.
We'll
But
go-
yes, sir, I
We'll
can
go
get
2
my,
weeks then. We'll go
Well, I
2
would-
weeks at 2.
I would like to get it done as soon as possible because this happened very, very long time ago.
I understand.
And I put my life on hold. This is
Right.
hampering my recovery. And I understand Deputy Alt has another, but the last judge split it for this because he had a case
Right.
before. She said the CAD report would be enough. He didn't have to
Well,
testify.
I didn't realize that,
Those were her words. He
Okay,
didn't
okay.
have to testify. So
or that's
we were
that's
just trying to-
another thing there, Mr. Alt. I think or Deputy Alt, I've heard everything that I do. We could just set it on, and I'm pretty much prepared just to give a ruling. So I guess you can waive your presence for that if you wish.
I'd like to be present, Your Honor.
All right.
I'd like my vehicle back, Your
Okay,
Honor.
well, you can go get it. There's nothing
I'd like
stopping
to
you.
resolve this.
Okay, all right.
I understand, but like the
Okay,
last.
Okay, just stop. We're gonna try it at 2 p.m. next week. You can let us know. And if you become not available, then then I'll accommodate your schedule so you can be here. And then Deputy, everybody wants the last word. You, sir, from the Squally.
Do we have to be here next Friday?
No, you do not actually.
Okay, all
It's
right,
it'll be at 2 p.m.
at 2 p.m. Okay,
Yep.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I think we're done for today. And Deputy, I'll just let us know if, as soon as you can on Friday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yep.
You have a good day. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. You guys too.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.